Hi, everybody. This is Dane with Shoemaker Films. This is the Shoemaker Films podcast. I'm here with Chris and Katie of TAFF Treats. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Tell us a little about your business.
Well, we are TAFF Treats. We are a teacher-owned, family-operated freeze-dried business based in Brookhaven, and we freeze-dry a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, what all do you freeze dry?
We have over 25 different candy and treats that we make. So anything from peanut brittle to nerd clusters, airheads, Skittles are one of our most popular ones. So just about anything freeze dries except peanut butter and chocolate don't do super well. A lot of people always ask us to freeze dry like Swedish Fish or Reese's Cups. They don't freeze dry. But lots of candy do. So we've got lots of varieties, lots of options.
A lot of fruit as well. We're dabbling in the fruit and kind of intensifies the flavor a little bit and holds 90% of the nutrients in the fruit, which is pretty cool.
Interesting. Versus drying the fruit, I guess.
Yeah, dehydrating.
Yeah.
It just holds more of the nutritional content when you freeze dry it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with freeze drying. I'm sure a lot of people aren't either. Tell us a little bit of how you got into it. Where did you learn about freeze drying? Things like that.
So we knew that we always wanted to kind of start like our own little business, but we weren't quite sure what it was.
Yeah.
And so I had seen online freeze-dried candy, like during the time of the pandemic. Yep. And I said, that looks like something I can get behind. So contrary to what social media says, freeze drying is not just putting something in your freezer and then putting it in your dryer. Don't do that. We've heard that from a lot of people. Freeze drying, it's actual machine and it makes it super cold. It takes it down to like -10 degrees and then slowly heats it up and sucks out all the moisture. So that is the freeze drying process. So we bought our first freeze dryer about 2 years ago and started TAFF Treats. And here we are now. We own 5 freeze dryers, our lovely storefront in Brookhaven. We do a lot of shows and craft fairs to kind of get the word out about freeze-dried candy and freeze-dried treats.
Amazing. Yeah. So you founded the company 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, we came to a point where people were coming to shows just for our product, and we're like, this is kind of cool. And we kind of were like, let's open a storefront and see what happens. And before you know it, we're here all hours of the day, bagging, freeze-drying, and just running a business out of it. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Tell me about tell me about starting the business. What was that like? Challenges along the way?
Yeah, so first we started out of our house, like I said, with just our one freeze dryer. And we were just doing craft shows at that point. And then we were able to get into Game on State, which is a cool little arcade and media. And so we started selling our candy to other businesses. Luckily, Amy over at Game on State gave us a chance, and then it was kind of able to snowball from there. We got into Sugary in Newtown Square, and then we picked up, we're now in 15 other businesses across Delaware County and out in Indiana County as well. And so it just kind of snowballed from there. So like I said, we started in our house, started picking up other businesses, and then it was taking over our house. And with 2 small kids, we really needed our own space. Yep. So this was the perfect location where we could have a commercial kitchen, have the freeze dryers here, and get most of it out of the house.
And how long you've been in here? A year?
A year.
Yeah, we're coming up on a year. And like any small business, the cool part about this is we kind of want to build it not taking out any loans. We just want to show people that if you roll up the sleeves and just get to work and do it, a lot of people think you need a business degree or think you need an influx of cash. But everything that's coming in, we're paying for and kind of reinvesting and just building it that way.
Yeah. Was that a conscious decision to make this a debt-free business from the start, or?
I think that we both try to do the best that we can with money and finances, and we know that getting into debt can, really create a lot of stress around things. So trying to do it without debt is kind of, I think, just, a little bit more peace of mind when you own your equipment and, you don't owe anyone else money.
Yeah.
So.
And it's super challenging because you have all these ideas and you want to do this or, do that.
Sure.
But, you have to grow it at the pace you can.
Yep.
And just make sure you're doing it right. Be confident in yourself, keep going at it every day, because some days a person will walk in, some days a person will walk in and spend $150 on candy. So it's one of those things we try to get out to as many events as possible. We try to make amazing relationships with people, with other businesses, and kind of invest back into the community that way.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So you have a number of locations where people can buy at different retail outlets and things like that.
Yep.
Yep. And people can come in here, right, and purchase it.
Yeah, our hours are horrible. So I think we need to like dive into that. Like, it's very hard to balance.
And staff the store.
Yeah,
and,
staffing the store,
so,
balancing the product, and
so we're open Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 5.
Okay.
So hopefully with the summer of people having a little bit more flexible schedules, they'll be able to come in and check us out. And the nice thing is we sample everything here. Because we do know that inflation has kind of gotten everyone. And unfortunately, freeze dryers are super expensive. So that contributes to the cost of the candy. But you can try it before you buy it. So you can try anything that you would like.
For free. TAFF. Try anything for free.
Try anything for free. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, where did TAFF Treats come from, the name?
That's what it stands. So try anything for free. We wanted to make sure that people could sample before they buy.
Okay.
And then we have our little mascot, Huey, who is our hedgehog.
Yeah, I love this guy. He's pretty cool.
He is a hedgehog, not a dog. He's gotten mistaken for a dog lately.
Okay.
But he's our little hedgehog, and he is our mascot of TAFF Treats.
Nothing like investing in a bunch of new things, TAFF Treats, nice bright colors, and everyone thinking you're a dog treat business. So it's you learn along the way, but people who know freeze dried, they tend to gravitate towards it because it is so unique, it is so different. You don't really see it too often, and we sample it out. We don't want you to buy something and not like it.
Right. Yeah. What's the story behind the hedgehog, Huey? I mean, where did that come from?
So when I was in grad school, I read a book by Jim Collins called Good to Great. It is a management book. And one of the things in there was the fox and hedgehog parable. And the fox tends to focus on a lot of different things and hedgehogs focus on one thing. And so the idea with business is that you want to focus on one thing and do it well. And I tend to be super scattered and all over the place and trying, my focus isn't always the greatest. I have a lot of different interests. And so I wanted a hedgehog to kind of remind me focus on this, stick with just the freeze dried, because I feel like so many businesses try to do so many different things, but if you can really just pick one thing and do it well, that's where the hedgehog came from. So thank you, Jim Collins.
I feel like there's a lot of pivots in business if people aren't, let's say selling enough or whatever, you know what I mean? So they're always, we got to do this, we got to switch that. No, I mean, some months are great, some months are tough, but as long as you keep on going and kind of pushing through,
keep your focus in your
keep
mission.
your focus. Like I kind of equate it to like weight loss, right? So 3 years ago, I weighed over 300 pounds and I was like, stuff's got to change. So it's one of those things where I was able to drop over 100 pounds just by showing up every day, right? Some days some weeks I lost weight, some days I didn't, or I put on a couple, but if you consistently keep going after it, you're going to get to where you want to be. So
that's awesome. Nice. Tell us about, yourselves, like what's your background, what did you guys do before TAFF Treats?
Sure. So Chris and I both went to school for broadcasting at Millersville. That is where we met. And then after school, Chris did the broadcasting thing. I kind of knew that it wasn't for me about halfway through. I really liked it. But as you know, in broadcasting, you need to love it. And I didn't want to go out to Idaho to be a reporter. So I came back to the area and I started working with kids. And so I decided I wanted to be a teacher. Okay. And I went back to school and I got my master's in education. And so I work for the Rose Tree Media School District now. Okay. And I've been teaching for 10 years. So this is kind of nice. Some of my students actually helped us pick the mascot. They were super helpful in that decision. We had a couple different options. And so, getting their opinion was helpful. But I am a teacher.
And I'm a TAFF Treats employee now. But, I started out, like she said, in broadcasting. I started out in New York doing some stuff with Major League Baseball, video editing, and then met her, moved down here, and started fresh and was able to get in with QVC doing video production work there. Amazing organization, but it got to a point in the road where it's like, do I invest in, this business and see where it goes, or continue growing in that career path?
Sure, yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see what you can do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I love QVC. It's a great organization, but I was leaving with X amount, you know?
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
this, you kind of control your own destiny. So the hard work you put in here, you're going to see the end result. And then I also do still kind of freelance for the Eagles.
Okay.
Doing their social
cool.
media stuff. So like GIFs, memes, YouTube shorts, things like that. So I love the Eagles. It's very cool content to work on. And it's not like when they need me in season, that's when I kind of get after it. And
that's pretty
do this
cool.
on the side. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys are living the American dream right now, starting a business, just following your dreams. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. That's the one thing I think that people, get nervous about going into it. And probably if we knew, I feel like no one actually knows what they're doing. I've learned that in life, with parenting and anything in general, that you're all just kind of like doing it and you figure it out along the way. But it's definitely a lot of work. There's been lots of long nights, lots of early mornings, and, you just kind of grind through. And I feel like at this point, the only way that we can go is forward, because can't go back.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
What about some, any roadblocks or challenges along the way that, you were able to overcome or anything?
There's been a lot for sure. The freeze dryers don't always cooperate. They're very finicky sometimes. And unfortunately, there's not like a freeze dry repairman that you can just call and come to fix them.
Yep.
So we've learned way more about freeze drying and, mechanics and electrical stuff than we ever probably wanted to or needed to.
Nice.
So that's definitely been a roadblock. Sometimes the candy doesn't work the right way. The weather really affects things. We've lost product from being in the sun for too long. So just, there's lots of different hurdles, especially with the candy that we've come across. Financially, it can be tricky at times owning your own business. We did really well over the holiday season, and then it kind of flatlined. And
then January hits and you're like, what are we doing? But it's like,
so just, learning the first year of business with the ebbs and flows and the peaks and the valleys, and trying to figure out how to budget correctly. So I feel like now that we have this first year under our belt, we have, more knowledge going into it, and hopefully we can plan and budget a little bit better. And we know January is going to be slow, so maybe we need to find something else to do in there. But lots of hurdles, but you just, overcome it, figure out what to do, and then move forward.
That's the name of the game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's business, Yeah, I feel like January you need to find some kind of, everyone goes into a health kick then. So
well, the fruit,
the fruit.
We love to partner with other local organizations. So in the fall we're doing Wolf's Apples.
Oh, okay.
And we have a cool collab coming up with Yo Coffee, Thad and Gab over at Yo Coffee.
Yep.
Very cool people, but we're going to do strawberries for them, and they're going to do a pretty cool strawberry refresher drink. So that should be coming out shortly. And just like, it's cool where business takes you. Because the connections you meet, the way you can kind of collab and kind of create together.
Yep.
We've gotten to meet lots of really cool people and other business owners that, are kind of in the struggle with us. So it's been nice to meet a lot of different people and build those connections.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a community of people, and they can share ideas and things like that.
Totally.
Thad and Gabber, who referred me to you guys, actually.
Oh,
so
fun.
they were on a previous episode. So
Nice.
Yeah, super cool. And the way they're building that business in media is awesome. And, it's a local coffee shop. If you don't know about them, very good coffee, and just the vibes that it gives is really cool.
Yeah. Do you have your stuff there as well?
We do. They approached us and we're like, yeah, great. How'd you find out about us? It's kind of cool because we started approaching businesses, but now a lot of the businesses are coming to us, which is nice. Pretty cool because I feel like that's rewarding because we're doing something right. Like our main thing is we want to give back as much to the community, and within the first year of business, we've been able to donate through sponsorships, baskets, fundraising over $10,000, which is pretty cool. Like, I'm proud of that because we're a very small business, and
that's a big chunk.
To be able to give that back into sponsorships in baseball, or Ridley Cheer has been amazing with us working with them. Ridley Cheerleading,
nice.
Yeah, I think one of our big missions is to bring people together through the freeze-dried experience. And so being able to do that and give back to the community, I just think that that's the way to go in business. And it is frustrating when you come across those people that don't want to work with you, that don't want to collaborate and work together. Because I think, that's the only way we get through life is working together and helping each other out. So that's been one of the cool things. And speaking of Yo Coffee, I think that is our only drive-through location. So if your kids are being super extra and you don't want to get them out of the car, at least you can drive through and get your freeze-dried candy.
Nice. Cool. What about, what's like a top seller? Like, what do you have, like a couple like top 3 products?
There's a lot of seasonal stuff. Like
It
I feel
is
like
strange. That's always been interesting, like what sells. So Skittles are definitely our number one. The Skookles.
Skookles. After our process,
yes.
after our 10-hour process.
Originally Skittles,
Yes,
and then we freeze dry them to be Skookles. They are definitely our top seller. We have our Delco Puffs, which are Jolly Ranchers. So we do change the name around to fun, Delco things. Always Sunny Bites, which are our lemon heads. But it definitely just depends. Seasonally, I would say the s'mores right now, the freeze-dried s'mores are definitely our biggest seller. They've been doing really well. And it's weird. It goes through like phases. Our Air Johns, which are airheads, have been popular lately. And so it depends. I guess people's tastes kind of change with the seasons. But that's kind of what's hot right now.
And
cool.
The creating it is cool because we're really trying to create our own brand the next year of different things. I'm like how we can, the peanut brittle is phenomenal. Kind of melts in your mouth. It's no longer hard. But that's like from scratch, which is cool. The s'mores are from scratch. So we're trying to get into more from scratch items because like it is starting to pop up and you're starting to see it.
Yeah.
Other bigger businesses are starting to do it.
So we're trying to kind of separate and be like more of a bakery in a sense where it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you run into any issues like, I guess, like legal or anything like that? If you're freeze drying Jolly Ranchers and reselling them, is that
Delco Puffs, you mean?
So
that's why, that's why the names are all different. Because we don't want to get sued. Luckily, knock on wood, we haven't. Nothing has happened that we haven't gotten any letters yet. But changing the name and, like Chris said, trying to do our own stuff is helpful in that. So if you ever see the names, like our Laffy Taffy is our Use Funny Taffy. So switching the names around, but they are fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that Jolly Rancher. I can't even like fathom what that looks or tastes like.
The texture of it,
it's hard.
Kind of
now
crazy.
it's like you can
like flavor,
it like melts
crunchy.
in your mouth. That's wild. Okay.
I think that just any advice to entrepreneurs is just that it's hard work and that you just kind of got to keep going. Doing this together has been an experience, and I would be lying.
Tell me what about like a husband and wife.
So I try to be on the creative day-to-day end of things, where Katie kind of takes the reins on the back ends with emails because she has a full-time job. She is in the
I mean, I would definitely be lying if I said that it was easy. Working with your spouse and a business and having a family it's a lot, right? I mean, having 2 kids is a lot in general, and then I feel like this is our 3rd child, which might be the neediest of the 3. But and the freeze drying it takes like 10 to 12 hours. So there's a lot. I'm an early bird and Chris is a night owl. So a lot of times he'll come late at night and start the machines. Then I'll come early in the morning and bag them just so that we can kind of keep things going. And that's the one like downside, is that we can't just make product quickly.
Right. Because it is a 10-hour process.
So you really have to plan.
So like this past weekend, we just did Big Deal, which is a pickle festival at Xfinity Live. Amazing. You guys rocked. But it was something that we were like, let's take on bigger shows to see where it goes, right? And we had a bunch of product made, ready to go, and
we sold it.
We sold it all, which is
great.
Awesome, But then I had these orders to fill this week, so I'm here busting my tail at like midnight last night trying to turn products. So like every 10 hours, 12 hours, we're kind of in here, rotating in and out, switching things around. So there's different stresses, but at the end, it's all worth it if you keep going and just kind of see where it goes.
From everyone that I talk to that owns a business, they say like 5 years, you kind of start like reaping the rewards of your hard work. So I just keep reminding myself of that, of the super early mornings or the super late nights. I hope that we can set something up for our kids' future so that, they're taken care of. And even if my daughter, it's been cool seeing her like want to be a little entrepreneur. She set up her bracelets at our one craft show and, sold them for $1.
Awesome.
And then she always asks if she can sell lemonade outside. So I think just kind of having them watch us do this is a cool thing too. Your kids, they're always watching. And so watching them kind of and having them be with us as we're building it is cool.
Yeah, pursuing your passions, following your dreams. Yeah, those are life lessons.
And even if it's not candy, she's learning to work hard at an early age. It's one of those things, little things where it's like.
and earning money. I mean, I feel like she asked for everything under the sun, and I'm like, you need to earn money if you want to buy that. That money just doesn't grow on trees. I think that so many times these kids just think that they can get whatever they want, and with YouTube and social media and all that stuff, it drives me nuts. But I think that at least she's kind of learning a little bit about like working hard and budgeting and that kind of stuff. So that's good.
Yeah, we've started to incorporate more chores. Our 5-year-old's like kind of getting it. He's like, if they clean up, they clean the room, whatever. We'll give him some coins or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a start. I'm ready to offload some yard work.
There you go. Used to love mowing the yard. Now it's like, I got to do it in chunks. Time management is kind of crazy, but
yeah. I mean, you guys have a really cool brand. I mean, anything from a marketing standpoint that you guys are doing. Talk a little bit about that, how you're promoting. You do some shows
so Chris is really good at doing our marketing and the branding.
Okay.
Since that was, his background, and he even did some of that for the Eagles and at QVC. And so I think that having that background has been super helpful. Mm-hmm. We did through 99 Designs, they have like a logo contest where different designers from all over the world can design things for you, and then you pick what one you want. So I think we got over like 30 submissions for that. And then we narrowed it down, and it was funny because actually originally the one that Chris really liked, it was a little bit more like Sonic-y Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we went with this one instead. My students were the one that kind of convinced us to take Huey instead of the other one. They were like, no, that one looks too cartoony. Like this one you want to snuggle with.
Yeah.
So I think that, just building that brand, and again, staying focused with the marketing. Chris is so great at putting Huey in like different situations. Like when we did the Pickle Fest, Huey was holding a pickle. And last year when Media won, the Media Little League was in the Little League World Series. Huey had a Little League hat on. So nice. I think that's been super awesome to see. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. And so Chris's creativity has really helped build our brand and get, Huey recognized. And it's fun. Even my daughter was at school and she was like, Mom, this girl had a Huey keychain on her backpack.
No way.
So trying to build Huey, not just build the company, but build a brand that goes with it, is what we're kind of trying to do hand in hand.
Not to be corny, but like you want to see that and be like, oh, my thing is like you want to see the hedgehog and be like, you want a feeling behind it. Like, oh, that's cool. They're doing this, or I've had that there and it was a really cool moment. Like that's kind of like how I, kind of view it.
Yeah, like you see like the Nike swoosh and like the symbols and stuff.
Absolutely.
Or Apple, what it is. So hopefully someday that'll be Huey.
That's right. Yeah, I mean the color scheme is awesome too. I really like just like the turquoise and the pink or whatever. It's really pops, He
was a little bit different in the beginning, but I think that I've always been drawn to teal, and you've always liked pink. So I feel like that's kind of he was a little bit bluer in the beginning, and then we did switch around the colors.
Nice.
So, yeah, been cool.
Very good. What's in the works in the future? Anything you want to share?
Great question. I keep saying now
on the short term, I'll take this one. We are doing fundraisers with.
Okay.
We're pushing towards. We would like to do fundraiser, kind of bring it back local. So we want to team up with a lot of local businesses because that's the money you see in, at the baseball fields or at like dances and things like that. You're going to see that type of business. So we're teaming up with Adelco Effect, which is a awesome little candle company in Delaware County. Leon and Renee do a fantastic job with candles, and we're going to do like a candles and candy fundraiser for the fall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so getting that out to like different PTOs and, school groups and stuff, hopefully help them raise some money and keep it local. I feel like that definitely people like the local things, and Leon has awesome fun candle names too, kind of similar to our candy.
Okay.
So we did a couple fundraisers last year, which were successful, but we also realized, not everyone likes candy or can eat it for whatever reason. And so by doing the candles, I think that will really help schools, bring in some money, or baseball teams or whatever. So that is definitely what's on deck for the fall. We've talked a lot about like whether we do like a truck or a different retail location. So that's, now that it's summertime and school's out, we need to sit down and actually regroup and kind of talk about like our 5-year plan. I feel like we've just been kind of building the plane as we've been flying it. But now that we have the year, we can kind of figure out, where do we go from here? Where does TAFF Treats expand to?
Yep.
Kind of what worked, what hasn't, kind of regroup and continue to build it through good times, I guess, right?
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, really exciting. Candy's awesome. I mean, the brand's awesome. The company, you guys are so cool. So,
well, thank you.
Really, congratulations to everything that you guys have built here.
Yeah, and congratulations on your business. I know it's starting to take a lot of things. It takes time. You build it, and we appreciate your time and all the time you're putting in on the post-production end, because it is not just a start, click, stop. So he works really hard. Everyone works really hard in post-production, and sometimes the light is always shined on different places, but they're the real true awesome storytellers behind it.
Yeah. Shout out to my editor who does all this stuff. So
and the owner, editor, emailer, marketing, all that stuff. So
yeah. Cool. So where can people find you? What are your socials? What your website? What's the address here?
Sure. So we are at TAFF Treats, TAFF Treats, TAFF Treats, on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Our store is 8 West Brookhaven Road, so we're right between the Walgreens and McDonald's, 12 to 5 Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And look at us at many different locations around Delaware County. So we are in Wolf's, Game on State, Sugary. I know I'm forgetting lots of places. Genie Beans right down the road if you're in Parkside. So just look for the little Huey the Hedgehog and TAFF Treats.
Honey Pie.
Yeah, Honey Pie in Springfield.
Yeah, there's a lot. And the goal is to eventually build it in every borough or town in Delco. I'd love to have TAFF Treats as easily accessible in Delco.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals.
Nice. Love it. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening today. Shoemaker Lab is an original production by Shoemaker Films, LLC. If you enjoyed today's content, please consider subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your content. Follow us on Instagram at shoemaker.films. And if you're a business that's either interested in our video production services or would like to be a guest on the show, get in touch by using the contact form on our website, shoemakerfilms.com.